Hi, and welcome to this audio review on the final part of question 4 for planning control in the MSP Practitioner Paper Practice Exam. So, now we have on our friendly assertion a reason question styles here. I shouldn't need to review about how to approach this particular style anymore. But as you can see, we've got using the project scenario, so we need to have that or something similar to provide the assertion statements some form to work on. So let's have a look through the statements now. We'll do each one on its own, true or false, and then look at marrying up later. So firstly, the monitoring and control statement should specify who has authority to buy or lease. Well, of course, this is absolutely right, really, because part of that is the controlling strategy and how to write to buy or lease training centres. That comes through the control. And that will definitely be in there. Some of that information could also be in the resource management strategy as describing the particular resources required and about any approvals that might need certain boundaries to work with as well. So true statement. Number 2, the specifications and design of the IT network for the training centres should be form part of the program. No, the plan does not include the specification of the design that goes into the blueprint. The project briefs themselves might indicate the outputs to help deliver some of that design and when it might need the specs, but it does not go part of the program. So that's a false statement. The resource management strategy should identify how projects 7 and 8 will use external resources. Identify, describe, define. Exactly, that's what that should be doing. So that's very true. Number 4, it would be appropriate for a new project to be planned for delivery in an earlier tranche to confirm if retail will be using the distance learning effectively. Well, it's always a very good idea. This is putting a pilot out actually, and a very good practice to do that, to test a new solution, because you might be able to put out a small version of it at the moment as an indication of how it will look, and maybe test it out and see if it's going to work or not. That's always a very good idea, actually. Number 5, the project manager for project 7 should be given a clear guidelines as to when the first 4 training centres must be delivered. Guidelines, tolerances, guidance, feedback, and stuff like that. Managed by exceptions are absolutely right. That is a true statement. Finally, 6, if for monitoring purposes a report is required when the site for temporary training has been identified, this should be stated in the project brief. What this on a high level is obviously it's probably a crucial point, so it's very interesting because the project brief needs to state if there are any formal project requirements needed throughout the program in relation to other projects, for instance, within the program, and obviously identification of these sites would be quite a key point or milestone, if you wish, in the program. So let's go look at the reasons to be cheerful in this paper. So the monitoring and control strategy should set out when audits and health checks should take place. Well, that doesn't happen here. This is to do with the quality assurance. So it would be the quality assurance plan that would describe that when they would be taking place, right? Take place, timing thing, timings, plans, description, how they'll be run. That would be in this strategy. Okay, so that's false. Number statement 2 here. The program plan should include specifications for critical project outputs. Nope, remember we talked about this before, and it's the project's brief that project briefs that should include that information as the outputs from each of those projects, because that's what we needed there and how it relates to the program overall, the tranches and capabilities. But it should be in the project briefs. Thirdly, the resource management strategy should include the timing of activities to monitor when resource usage by projects will take place. No, it doesn't include the timings of activities. That's the resource management plan. The strategy describes them, the plan defines and schedules them. Remember, there's a distinct difference between strategy, defining, identifying, and the plan's about the timing, sequence, and events, etc. So it's a false statement. Number 4, early tranches may be designed as pilots or proof. Well, we discussed that in the first part here with assertion, so that's a true statement. We'll come back to those in a minute. 5, the boundary of the program will set out the program scope. So that's exactly what it does, right? The whole point about this, it has to set out what the scope is about within the whole program. Therefore, that is what we're doing here. We're setting where the boundaries are for where the program's got to operate under it. And finally, projects should be given clear guidance on reporting requirements. This is again setting up tolerances, and we provided in the brief initially because that's where it should be at project level, and help give guidance on when they're going to be able to report and when they should report up through the project and program communication, stakeholder chain, etc. So 1 is true, false, so that's C. 2 both false, that's E. 3 is true, false, once again C. But the last 3 are all true pairs of statements, or pairs of true statements. So the fact that tranches is designed as pilots, that's what we said is going on in the assertion. So yes, that's a letter A. This what the reason supports the assertion. This one's talking about scope here in the boundary of the program. We'll set scope. However, here we're talking about tolerances, so they're not related at all. Therefore, you use the letter B. And finally, projects given clear guidance on reporting mechanisms. This is talking about reports and when the project brief should include that, when they should be done. That is also therefore a statement, answer A, because that reason does directly explain the assertion. So hopefully you managed to complete that question and getting a little bit more familiar with the assertion, reason, style approach. Remember, as we said, each one independently of the others, and you only need to cross-reference at the end once you've got the completion of grids of false, true, true, false, or false, false, or true, true. And the latter, of course, with 2 true, 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 you just need to do one more step, decide does the reason directly support the assertion, in which case you put the letter A if it yes, as we did for 4 and 6, and B when it does not, as we did for number 5. So well done on that if you've managed to complete and get through that. If you do need more support, of course, as per usual, contact your tutor through the platform or read through the chapter once again on planning and control. Thank you.